Yo, what up? It's your boy T-Dub, T-Dub TV was pleasing in sports. We are here live recapping Deontay Wilder versus Chris Arreola. No, it's not the fight that we originally wanted to see. We all remember what happened 9 days prior. Someone failed a drug test, no flying to Russia. Sweet home Alabama. You know what I'm saying? This makes Deontay Wilder, in my opinion, feel very good. He brings another title fight back to his home state of Alabama. Now, let's just jump into this fight. And what I'm going to try to do is give you guys definitely a recap of it. Blow by blow each round as much as I can jot down to try to point out some things, and then a little critiquing if I can on things I would like to see improved on, and just overall thoughts on where the fight is going to go from here. Now, in round one, what I liked about Deontay Wilder is he came out, he wasn't rushing, he was not reckless, and he established that jab, and not only that jab, but that distance. What I did not like from Chris was he stayed at that distance. You got a guy that has a reach incredibly much more than what you have. Why are you staying back there with your hands and eating those jabs? And from round one, at the end of that, he had like a cherry red spot already starting to develop right in the middle of his face. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I know I was looking down trying to jot things, but I'm not sure if Chris, maybe he did. Did he throw a punch that first round? I don't think so. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it didn't look like it. If it was, it's not rememberable. Now, the second round, you got pretty much the same. You know, Deontay turned up a little bit, mixing in the right hands in there. At the end of that round, I do remember Chris coming at him at the very end and trying to land something while Wilder was on the ropes. Wilder moved back and weaved it and threw a combination shots that actually had Chris in a little bit of trouble. Definitely brought some excitement to the fight. Early on, you started to hear a little boos, but you know, once that turned up, everything kicked in gear. Now we're going to round three, baby. Now we're in round three, and this is where Chris had a little success when Wilder went against the ropes. He pretty much stands tall with his hands kind of in his shell defense. I would definitely like to see his team actually work on those things before his next fight. One, his hands. You know, they start off this low, and then by the 7th round, 6th round, they're even lower towards his belly button. And those are things that he would not be able to do, which I don't think so, but I'm saying it's going to put himself in more jeopardy of getting caught with big shots once he faces the Joshuas, the Flurries, the Klitschko's, or whoever else supposed to be the big guy, the top dogs who have the belt at that time. I thought Chris showed a little bit better along the ropes. He tried to come a little bit more, but so far I'm having it 3-0. Wilder is taking this one. Now we jump into round 4. What makes round 4 very interesting is when Chris had him against the ropes. And I'm like, what is Wilder doing? You know, Chris just sitting there just bah, 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 turn that body up and Wilder's arms up here. And then I start seeing him doing a hula hoop, you know, while he's throwing these punches. And then out of nowhere, he lands a huge uppercut. Bow! Bow! And he did it a few times throughout this fight where he would dance like that, take them body punches. I was wondering, would those body punches actually slow him down throughout the fight? And my opinion, I think he did slow down. Maybe either he had to work on his stamina, because he showed a little fatigue with his hands dropping later on in the fight. But hey, he was very successful. Every time he done that, he was able to catch Chris with some big uppercuts. And this round was so good because he actually dropped Chris. He turned the heat up all the way to 400 degrees on him. Then once he got up, he was going after him. Hit him again, had him in trouble. He was doing the Elvis legs or the chicken dance for a minute. See the bell. Some people were thinking they were going to stop it, but they did not. And this brings us to round 5. Chris actually survives. I thought Deontay was going to come out there, put this guy out of his misery, but he survives. And I believe it went on through the 6th round just the same. So I'm thinking about the 7th, like, you know what, by the 7th round, like, I'm glad they did not stop it. Wilder needs to go more distance in fights. That way he can better be prepared when he faces these guys that are not going to fold up. Now let's just jump right into the Magnificent 8. I believe after the 7th round, they said the corner might have been talking about stopping it. I was sitting there with my brother doing the 8th round, like, hey, if he don't put out anything in this round, they might actually stop it. And looking at his face, I believe his left eye was swollen shut. His right eye had blood coming in it from a cut about right here. And he's fighting. And he's doing absolutely nothing. Wilder is coming at him, landing jabs whenever he wanted to, doing whatever he wanted to do when he wanted to do it. It looks like the rough is close enough to stop it, but he did not stop it. Now we don't go into the 9th round. We go into our corners, and that was it. Fight was called. Deontay wins by stoppage, knockout, TKO, whatever you want to call it, or you can subscribe below. Take a moment. I appreciate it. Now, Deontay won, okay. And I'm a big Deontay Wilder fan, but he has to improve. He's athletic. He's really good, tall, fast hands. And he can do a lot of damage, but he needs to focus in on some basics, like, just having his hands higher. Because when you face fighters that can get in, have really good timing, or just as long reach as you have, which probably not too many of them, but you need to be sharper. And the reason I critique now, and because let's think about Adrian Broner when he was undefeated. Before he fought McDonald's, it was asking Mayweather, what do you think about his performance? I know it's okay. He's flat-footed, not using his jab much, relying too much on the check left hook or whatever. And then he goes on and fight McDonald and he gets beat. Flat-footed, not using his jab as much, not keeping his distance, relying on hooks. And then what happened when he fights Sean Porter? Flat-footed, whenever Sean came in, he was right there upon him, not using angle, not using his jab, relying too much on his check left hook. And people don't want to bring things up until after a loss. When you're winning, the formula is great. No, yes, you won. You put in your work. You got the knockout. Boom, squad! But now it's time to go back, Prepare as if you still have something to prove. Prepare as if you still the rookie. Prepare to be better. I would treat it like somebody's in that top spot above you, and you working your ass off to take that spot. Or if you're in that top spot, you treat it like somebody's on your heels trying to take your spot, and you want to sharpen every tool you have. Now, when he's along the ropes, I don't like that he stands up so tall. Or when he backs out, he's so tall when he moves. Chris threw some bombs in this fight, and he just missed. He missed because his timing, or his timing was off. But Wilder, hands was down, his chin was there to be hit, and Chris was a little bit sharp. He needed to work on and focus on those things. But like I said, big win. We're gonna come to the interview portion, and he made it clear. They talking about who do you want to face next? Joshua, Fury, Klitschko, blah blah blah. He said the big question is, do they want to face me? There you have it, baby. Deontay Wilder, still champion. Boom! Squad! Subscribe below to your boy TWTW TV. We out.